Everybody. I'm Allison Cunius, and today I'm joined with Dawn Perry, and we are
Hello.
so glad you are joining us for the 15 Meaningful Minutes Book Club. Laura Jones also usually joins us, but she is not feeling well today. And we are so happy that you're either joining us live or listening to the recording. The purpose of the 15 Meaningful Minutes Book Club, we designed this for busy women to come together so that we can empower one another and apply the principles this month of Atomic Habits by James Clear. Our goal is to authentically work smarter, not harder in 2025 to achieve our health, relationship, family, financial, and spiritual aspirations. So this week we're covering the first law, and that's make it obvious. There are four laws. The second law is make it attractive. We'll be talking about that next week on Friday. The third law is make it easy, and the fourth law is make it satisfying. So each week we'll be covering one of those laws and talking a little bit more about it and giving you a prompt to think about before book club starts. So this week's prompts were using implementation intentions. So I will behavior at time in location. So you fill in those blanks, the behavior, time, and location. And then using the power of habit stacking and combining that first law, make it obvious so that it really sticks. So if you want to put yours in the comments and we can share at the end, you can also raise your hand. And if we have time, we can chat at the end. So Dawn, last week we talked about how small habits compound over time to lead to significant changes. And we also talked about identity-based behavior. So, those were two things that really stuck with us the first time we read the book. So this week's focus, like we said, is make it obvious. So if you want to put in the comments what habit you currently have that you think is really obvious, and how did it become a part of your routine? Dawn, will you share one with us that you have that habit that is obvious in your life?
Yes, brushing your teeth. That's an obvious, easy habit. And it's also an example that was given to us. And we just do the habit and don't even think about it. And that's an obvious and easy habit.
Yes, it's really obvious. I mean, where do you keep your toothbrush? You keep it right there next
Next,
to the sink, right? You don't like hide your toothbrush or like have to find it before
right.
you start brushing your teeth. And it's just something that you do and you don't even think about. And there are probably obvious aspects to it that really, you don't even think about doing. So this week's takeaways from the first law, make it obvious. The core concept is this habit behavioral loop. Now, I was actually a psych major, and this is like psychology 101. And it's this habit behavioral loop is you get a cue, you have a craving, you respond, and there's some sort of reward, either intrinsically or extrinsically. And in order for a habit to become or a behavior to become a habit, all four of those things need to happen and continuously happen. So James Clear talked about in the book, and Dawn and I were talking about it last week, um, using the habit scorecard. Have any of you used the habit scorecard? Dawn, what did you tell me?
I said
That
if
and I
I have to take score, I probably won't do the habit. So I'd rather just do the habit and not take score.
she thought the scorecard was somewhat of a roadblock to continuing on with the book.
I'm not
So
saying not to do it, but I just chose that I'd rather just do what I have to do and not have a little
I
sticker.
I didn't write it down. I mentally went through it, and I think that that's also acceptable. Like um to be mindful of what habits you have in like let's say getting going in the morning, what kind of things do you do that are automatic habits already? Like what are your things? And so I kind of went through those myself as I was reading and, you know, thought about them. And he talks about, are those habits moving towards your goals or not? Um, something that I admit to doing is picking up my phone when my alarm goes off and looking at the notifications, and then that begins a scrolling, and that's not moving me towards my goal of getting out of bed, getting out of bed and getting my day going. So, that's one negative. So, um, Dawn, using the
Yes.
implementation of intentions, what is one behavior at a time and location? You were telling me about this idea of resetting the room. You want to talk a little
Yeah.
bit about that?
Yes. And we're going to get more in detail with that. This is one of the examples that James Clear does give, but it fits. This is something that I've been able to adapt. And so if I'm taking the behavior, I will reset the room, reset each room before I leave that room each day. Okay. So it started with doing it at night when I leave the living room to go to bed, with folding the blankets, putting the pillows back, looking in the kitchen. Oh, there's dishes. I'm going to put the dishes away. So that the reward. So we're talking about a craving, and then the cue and the response and the reward. The reward is really me waking up the next day, walking into my living room and kitchen, which is just one big open room, and seeing everything in order. And that reward has motivated me far more than me checking the box on my scorecard. Like now, if for some reason, going back to the scorecard, if you're having trouble with continuing with that habit, then if a scorecard can help, please use it. If it's not working for you, use the scorecard or have someone else in your home hold you accountable. But that's an easy way. Resetting the room is a behavior I've implemented, and it's an easy thing that I do every night. It takes me about 1 minute to 5 minutes the most because I'm keeping up with it.
Yeah. It's not doing a deep clean. It's not like pulling out the vacuum cleaner and sweeping up all your pet hair. It's it's
Right.
just straightening up is what resetting the room means. Putting things away on your desk. Um, it's making your bed when you get up in the morning. It's the small things that kind of tidy up a space versus like, oh, I have to, clean all of the stainless steel in my kitchen before I go to bed at night.
Right.
So, okay, that's great. I think that we're going to be talking more about that later on in the book, but um, I think one of the things, Don and I are huge fans of habit stacking, and this
Love it.
first law is really where it comes in. It comes in, and it's such an easy way to start implementing new behaviors and also eliminating the bad behavior, not bad behaviors. I don't want to like make it, that linear. But if you have behaviors that aren't moving you towards your goal, negative behaviors, you can use the make it less, don't make it obvious to eliminate negative behaviors. And you can use make it obvious to add in new behaviors that will move you towards your goal. So, Don, what's one of your habit stacks that you use?
So I wanted to have hot lemon water every morning when I wake up for my first beverage of the day. So what I did was, so the way it works is you take a current habit and then you add the new habit and you sandwich it in between two habits that you currently have. So I will wake up when my alarm goes off. I will press the hot pot that I have in it's right next to my bathroom. I have like a little countertop with a little boiling water thing. I will press the button, then I will go to the bathroom and then I'll brush my teeth, and then I will have my hot lemon water. So I have like the whole everything is stacked in there, but I start the water, do those two things, and then I finish with drinking the lemon water. I'll take my lemon water and then I will go have my quiet time. So I've been able to stack all those habits in there. And we're talking within a 5 minute period, I'm able to accomplish those things and it will set me up and encourage me to have my quiet time, which is the end goal before
So
I start my
Dawn, where is your kettle with your lemon water though? That I think is
right
how you make
on
it
the counter.
obvious.
It's on the counter next to the bathroom in my bedroom.
Yes, it's
And
not, she doesn't have to
not
go to the kitchen.
downstairs.
She
I'm
doesn't
on
have
the third
to cut up a
story.
lemon. She doesn't have to, fill the kettle. The kettle's probably already full the
Right.
night
I just press
before.
the button and I have the lemon like the night before. If it's a whole lemon, it's just there and I just have to cut it and put it in. If it's not, I have like a little tiny fridge that I have and I just take it out and put it in.
Hmm.
So it's everything
And
is ready to go and I don't have to go out of my way. I make it obvious. Like that's so obvious. And it's gotten to the
so,
point now where my husband will do it if he gets up before me because I've made it so obvious he can do it too.
yeah, sometimes that's key with others in our lives, right? Um, so what's one way that that all of you can make a desired habit more obvious? So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to drink more water. So sneak peek, I'm making it attractive with my light pink water bottle. I'm making it easy with a straw, and I'm making it obvious by putting it right here on my desk so that I can sip water throughout the day.
Love
Um,
that.
that's a really great one. So when you're thinking about your identity based behavior and what habits you want to integrate, how can you make those habits more obvious? Like I'm not having to run into the kitchen to get water when I think I might be thirsty. I just have it with me and I can take this to the car with me and drink it in pickup line when I leave for pickup. So those are the kind of things that's how we want your mind to be thinking and how James Clear is suggesting that you use it, that you use this first law, make it obvious in your life. And we would love to hear next week what habit you have made more obvious. And we'd love to hear if it was successful or what habit you are trying to eliminate and you had to make it less obvious. I think a lot of you might do this already. When you want to eat more healthy, do you buy a lot of junk food? No, you don't. So that's like one example of eliminating a behavior by making it less obvious or more difficult. So um, come next week. We want to hear your successes, and even if you weren't successful, we love to hear those too. So, um, in closing, um, we'd love if you create a habit scorecard, let us know. Don and I will be very impressed, right? Um, next week's teaser is make it attractive. Think of my like pink water bottle. Um, and we'll be talking about how making the habit attractive or the behavior attractive will help you initiate a new behavior. Um, and I love this quote: the most powerful outcomes start with the simplest changes. So I think that sums up um, the Atomic Habits book and the meanings behind it. Um, so this was week where we cover the first law, make it obvious. Next week, make it attractive. Then the third law, make it easy. And the fourth law is make it satisfying. Um, so we will wrap up the Atomic Habits book by the end of February. We are going to take off Valentine's Day, just if you're watching and planning your calendar to tune in live. So, Don, did I hit everything?
Yes, you did. And
All
I want to
right.
encourage you to not give up and experiment. So if you can't figure out a way to make it obvious, then try different ways. And if Allison moves to the side, she'll show you her little treadmill. She's made very
Let's
obvious
see.
with her
And my
teachers
shoes are
on the
right
back.
there.
So
There it
she's
is.
probably tried other things, and this is what's making it really obvious, and it's working. Just like me with my hot water kettle right next to my bathroom. that works for me. So
Mhm.
I hope everyone does well with this, and we're excited to see you again next week.
Yes, bye.
Bye.